Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to get into my weekly planner here. My monthly planner. It's an Erin Condren monthly planner, and I am just ready to get into the weekly check-in. That's what I meant to say. So I haven't done or filmed a weekly check-in in many months. Probably June, I think, was the last one I saw I did. And that was because I moved over the summer, and then I was trying to get back into budgeting on paper again, because sometimes when you're that busy, you just can't do it on paper. But I was still keeping up with things, kind of. And luckily, we had proceeds from the sale of our previous house when we sold our house, and then moved here where we're at now. And now we're still kind of in that phase of, oh, let's buy this for the house and buy that for the house, and oh, I need this organization thing. So we're still doing a little bit of that, but not as much as we did previously. Thousands of dollars worth. Now it's just hundreds of dollars, so which add up very quickly. So weekly check-in. Now that I've rambled, what I'm showing you right here is my spending tracker. My spending tracker is where I track everything that happens on my credit card, where I spend, and this is how I make sure that I pay it off weekly, if not monthly. So that is very important to me. So that is what we're going to talk about today, and we are going to fill out this weekly check-in that I have set up, and yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So stay tuned. I just want to take a minute to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had a handful of new subscribers, and I am so excited that when new people come on and I see other budgeting people, I try to go look at their channel and start following them and see what they do. And if I really like what you're doing and it's really good content, or content I know will grow into really good, I always try to follow. So yeah. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and thanks for joining my channel. Welcome. So I'm excited here. November spending. We are checking in. Today is Thursday. I am going to go ahead and grab my no spend stickers I have over off to the side. Oops. Was not prepared. All right, and they're by Sarah Marie Stickers. I love Sarah Marie Stickers. She has great quality stickers, and I just tend to buy everything from her. So these are no spend stickers, and I'm going to mark Thursday as a no spend. Now, just because I mark it as a no spend does not mean I will spend later in the day. I just count it for Friday instead of today. I'm just closing out my week. Sometimes people are bothered by that, and they have to close it out at the end of the day. And if that is you and you're not someone that films, it's not a big deal. But for me, I haven't spent this morning. It is about 11:30, and so usually I've already gone to the store and back. I normally would spend. Now, I might buy stuff on Amazon later in the evening, but that's another story. So I'm gonna grab, I think, something that matches this color palette a little bit here. I think I'm gonna go with this top one here and lay down this sticker. There we go. So now that tells me everything I did here is what I'm counting for in the first week. So it's the 31st through the 2nd. Even if I spend today, it's going to go on tomorrow's. It's not that big a deal. As long as it's covered and you have the money in the account, it's taken care of. So I have one unbudgeted, 3 grocery, and 3 miscellaneous items. And I will be over in miscellaneous because I got a little excited and I have an idea for December, and I will talk to you guys about that later. You might notice something right there. Haven't quite zoomed in. So there you go. I've zoomed in, and now you can kind of see exactly what it is. I went back to my original sticker color palette of what my spending tracker is supposed to be, instead of matching the colors at the top. I did that last month. I didn't like it because I'm so used to seeing my highlighter and my stickers here match with my credit card highlighting in this one. So yeah, there we go. That's my spending for this week. And we are going to go ahead and get our sticky note. And as you can see, I misplaced it already. Hold on one second. Okay, I am back. So have my sticky note here and I'm ready to write out my transactions. So on here, I'm going to start with grocery household. It's my first thing that I write about. It's the first thing that on my weekly check-in. I try to keep them in order of, let me show you real quick, this page. And my stickers are laid out in order here. So there. Now I did make a change to my weekly check-in. I have 5 categories. I went ahead and tracked prescription copay. We're new to paying those kind of things, and so I put a budget for it. I just want to track it and see if it's consistent or close to, certain amount every month, and that's why I have it on here. But in December I don't. I decided to go with 4 instead of 5. I don't really have to track it here. I can track it in my paycheck to paycheck, which is enough for me. So let's go back here. Okay, all right, grocery household. So went ahead and did some bulk shopping and got stuff for the house, and then there were things I forgot, so there's that. And so I had about $161.18 on the 31st, which I'm counting for the month of November, even though it happened in October. Again, you can pick and choose where you're getting your money from and what month it's coming out of. There was plenty of room on the credit card, which is where all these transactions happened, to where I can actually kind of compartmentalize what part of the month pays for what. So that's what I'm doing right here. Let's see. Here on the 1st, I ordered some supplements on Amazon. I actually ordered it on the 31st, but the transaction didn't post until the 1st, so I just put it there. And then Meijer again, there were snacks that I forgot and extras that my boys requested, so I went back and got that. Adult, male, they eat you out of house and home. Thankfully, they pay rent and, take care of things, so that's awesome. All right, so there is that, and I'm going to skip a little bit here. There was no restaurants. Usually we go out to eat only on the weekends. We don't go through the week unless I really just didn't have time to cook, or I don't know, or I just didn't have an opportunity to fix something. So we didn't go out to eat during the week, so miscellaneous. Amazon, $27.53. I really wish I knew what was spent there. I don't know if it was me or my husband. So I do know something came in yesterday. I think I got something for the bathroom for my husband's mouthwash that he uses, and it's just this pump system and where the cups go, which remind me I need to put little cups on my grocery list. But yeah, so it's just easier, and he was forgetting to do it, and he and I thought, well, if there was something kind of cool looking maybe, and it looked better than the bottle sitting on the counter, he would remember to do it, and it seems to work. So there you go. And some kind of power cord for his, I guess, microphone that's connected to his Jeep so he can talk hands-free in his Jeep. So something like that, those little things. I don't know if one of those is this, but that's kind of what we bought this week in supplements. There's certain vitamins he takes. They didn't have them at the grocery store, so I went ahead and ordered them on Amazon, and that works out for us. And then, oh, I saw Amazon. I don't know why I'm talking about a grocery and a whatchamacallit. Oh, I gotta edit this out. Okay, so the next place I went was Michael's. $42.37. This was Halloween day. Michael's, I keep clicking on something here. Michael's was doing a 70% off fall and Halloween. So it was Halloween day, and I could not find anything that I normally had for Halloween that I had packed, and I just couldn't find it. So I went, and it was 70% off, so I spent $42.73. I did a little short on it. You can look in my shorts video and see that. And yeah, I just needed something. I didn't, so I got a little random stuff. It was cute though, and Halloween was a success. Erin Condren released their seasonal surprise box, as today is the 3rd, which means it's probably still available, but they do sell kind of fast. By the time this video goes up, I don't know if they're going to be sold out, but you can check the website if you want to purchase one. I did buy 2. There's a couple things I think I want in there, and then I think I want to give the rest for Christmas gifts this year, and I thought that would be an easy way to get Christmas gifts and give them to some of the people I love and things like that. So, and I got a discount. I had $16, which is interesting because the way they're doing the surprise box, it's not just a $40 surprise box. It's a $40 surprise box, or you can get the step up where you pay an extra $16 or $20, whatever it is, and that can come back or that you can get a specific thing, and what came with it was really cool. Go check out the website if you're really wanting to know what that was. It was like a daily planner almost, but it had like January through December at the top, and then it had all the numbers. It reminded me of some of the videos I saw on JetPens on some of the planners that are kind of like, it's not Hobonichi, but it's like those types of planners that JetPens tends to sell, and from Japan and Korea and all those places. So if you're interested, go check that out. So I went ahead and got that, and since I had the $16 off of my own rewards, I just went ahead and got the extra. And that means I got both of the covers, and I couldn't decide which one, so it's part of the reason why I went ahead and bought both. And the extra gifts that I can have to give out. So there you go. All right, so that's the miscellaneous 1, 2, 3, and groceries, and then unbudgeted. Now I put this as unbudgeted because my husband purchased this 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and it was actually scheduled to come this week and later in November, but they mailed it and then they put the charge in, so they didn't charge until they mailed it, and I think it was third party, so I didn't realize that when my husband bought it. Basically it's a portable gas can that has a pump and a little spout for his ginormous riding lawnmower. So it's just something for him to use and for next year, and he really wanted it, so I was like, okay, go ahead and get it. And it was $163.74. So this way he doesn't have to go so frequently to fill gas in his riding lawnmower and cut grass. You know, he can finish cutting grass because, 2 acres isn't a small amount to cut, so that's why we have a riding lawnmower. Let's see, so that's unbudgeted, and that's just 167 or 63.74, and I'm not even sure why I'm writing that down because I'm not tracking it. So there was no medical, there was no gas, and there was no restaurants, so there was that. And let's get the totals on these. So here we go. So in the first 3 days alone, we've spent hundreds of dollars. So I have to pay that credit card back for these hundreds of dollars that I've spent on these items. And in order to keep my credit card paid off. Now the payment to the credit card is built into my spending categories. So I budget my spending categories, then I make a payment based on what I spent that week. That way it cancels each other out, and I pay specifically those amounts. Not a minimum payment, not a random payment, the specific amounts I actually spent. And that's how I keep my credit card paid off. I know I have cash in the bank to pay for it. I put it on the credit card. I leave that cash that I know I can pay for it with until once a week, and then once a week I total it up and then make payment to a credit card. That's how that works. Now this time I'm going to have a couple ways of paying my credit card, and luckily all of the ways I'm paying my credit card is in the same bank. We have Navy Federal Credit Union, so we can pay with a savings account, a money market account, a checking account, however, wherever the account is, I can transfer funds to that credit card because I am on those accounts and I can put those in. And my husband's on those accounts with me. So it works all the way around and we can pay the credit card easily. I'm very transparent with him on what I'm doing. Though I could rob him blind if I really wanted to because he does not pay any attention to the budget. I really wish he would, but that's not who he is. He's a big picture guy. So we do the big picture budget every month and I go over the numbers and I have him look at it and remind him this is how we're spending. We have to be in agreement and then we come together and, you know, I do the nitty gritty. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and check these off because I've already kind of written these down. And there we go. Let's go to the weekly check-in and put the numbers in for the budget. So here we go. How good am I on screen? All right. So now that I have these numbers on here, which is like, I don't like flipping back and forth, so there you go. Spent $243.74 here, 0 on restaurants, and then miscellaneous. I'm going to be over by a few dollars, but that's okay. 470, 154.70, and then 0 for gasoline, and I didn't spend any on medical yet. Okay, there's that. So now I'm going to take these amounts and figure out the balance I have left for that budgeting category, and that balance will move forward to the next week or the next week that I set up in here. And so that's what I'll be doing today, is setting up week 2 so I know how much cash I have available to spend on hand for that week. And if I go over, then I have to decide where the money's coming from in order to pay off the credit card. Sometimes I decide it goes unbudgeted and I pay it with the savings. Sometimes it comes out of sinking funds, which is a different savings account. And sometimes it is just out of the checking account, the buffer. So, but I have to think it through, and this forces me to think it through, and that is very important. So, 400 minus 243.74, and that gives me a balance of 156.26. And later here today, once I pay the credit card, make a payment to the credit card, I'll write paid credit card, so I know those transactions are paid for, and that's what I would put in my notes. You can put whatever you want in your notes. I used to put a total here that would balance forward, but I've kind of changed that up a little bit. So I still have $100 here, and then here I'm going to go negative, so I'm going to actually use a red pen. I like to mark it in red. I don't like marking it in red, but I do prefer to mark it in red to stand out, so I know that what is happening was overspending. So there's that. 150 minus 154.70, and that gives me a negative balance of $4.70. So that I had to borrow. Luckily the other spending categories kind of absorbed that, so the cash is on hand. It's not that big a deal, but I have to pay attention to my miscellaneous. This is where I go over budget all the time, and I really want to rein that in going into the next few months. It's going to be hard over the Christmas season, so I've really got to pay attention to that. So next thing I have is gasoline, which is $100. And then I have prescription copay, $100. Now that only gets $100 for the entire month, and I just kind of balance it forward. I don't add to it weekly, just because it's for prescriptions or if I have a copay for an appointment or something, which I haven't had a copay appointment yet, so that's kind of cool. But I have had, well, I take it back. I was billed for one for $22, and I paid it like a month later, so I don't know. We'll see. Still learning civilian life, retired military, and no military treatment facility. Though I'm really enjoying the civilian side of it, because they seem a lot nicer. They really, really do. So now I'm going to set up for my next week. This is how I know how much money I can spend for the next week in week 2. So I have $156 and 26 cents. And I'm going to add another budget of, oh, that's a good question. What am I adding? I forgot. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I consulted with my spreadsheet. That's where my numbers go so the math stays straight. And I'm adding $400. So $400 a week is what we're doing for adults that live at home. Everybody pulls their money together, and that's what I grocery shop with, so that's what we're using. $400, and that gives me a very easy math. I could have done it in my head, but just to show you, $456, not 400, geez. See, I thought it was easy math. I can't remember things. It's ridiculous. $556.26. There we go. There's that. And then restaurants, I'm going to add another $100. So that's going to be $200. And then for miscellaneous, let's see. I'm adding $250, so I need to do the math for that. Not $250. $125. Okay. On my Excel spreadsheet, it is in the shows me what I'm going to do for the entire 2 weeks for a paycheck period. That's what I do in my spreadsheet. But here I'm doing a week, so I had to divide it by 2. And 125 minus start that over. 125 minus $4.70, and that gives me 120.30. All right. And then gasoline. Okay, I'm back. I had to kind of go through my spreadsheet because I didn't update it. And kind of do that. So gasoline's going to be $200. I had $100 last week. The reason I start with a large amount, even on a short 3-day week, I know I'm going to balance it forward. I just need a beginning place. And it's easier if I start at the very first of the month. $200, that's a lot for gas for these 2 weeks, but we have a Nissan Armada and then a Jeep Wrangler, and they have large gas tanks and they take a lot of gas. So I don't know when I'm going to need the gas money, but I'm building it up before I need it. Fortunately, we just filled up last month, and so this will be building up, and then we'll have some large purchases and probably travel a little bit next few weeks, especially over Thanksgiving and the weekend before, definitely. That's part of what we're building up to, is we're going to drive 2.5 hours one way and 2.5 hours back, so to meet some friends, and so we're going to need that gas money. Prescription copay, I'm just going to balance for that $100 because I'm not adding to it as I go. That's all I need for the month. So that is my week 2 budget setup, and that's what I have for my weekly check-in. So what I'll be paying to the credit card, and we'll look at the credit card right here. Get that on here. Hopefully I was on screen. I wasn't looking at my camera up here to see if I was on screen. If I wasn't, I do apologize. Here is my spending. So you're going to see purple in here mixed in. So sometimes my bills come off my credit card. If I could get my bill to come off my credit card, I would, or be charged to the credit card, that's where I put it. If not, and it costs more, because sometimes they do fees and you pay 3% of whatever the total charge is, so on and so forth, processing fees, and it was free with checking, then I would have it come directly out of my checking account, because it's not worth putting it on the credit card financially. Things like that. The water bill actually hasn't come out yet. I mailed it but it's got to go through the mail process before it gets to where it is. I might start dropping that off. I haven't really decided because they charge whether you use checking, they charge whether you use credit card or debit card. And, you know, if not, you put a stamp on it, you're still paying something to send them money. And I don't like that. I don't think it should be that way. So that kind of bugs me. I might set it up as web bill pay. There you go. That's what I call my bank's bill pay system. So I could do it that way and see if that's free. I'm not sure. I need to look into that. So anyways, Spectrum, I'll pay with the checking, or all this will come out of the checking account except for Xander Identity Theft. It's one of my sinking funds. I will pay that with my savings account. So I'll have one transaction that's $145 from that savings account on my credit card, and then the rest of these will come out of the checking account because my spending comes out of my checking account and our bills come out of our checking account, and that's just how I work the budget. So yeah, that is that. So I hope this made sense to you. I ramble. I do apologize for that. If you did like this video though, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.